Welcome to WK-ROC Right on Chime Geekly Weekly News, where I discuss geek-tastic happenings and updates every week. This is Chime, bringing you all news and no fluff, so you can know what's happening now in the world of geek, live on Twitch, and then not so live on YouTube. Holy voice actors reunion, Batman. Mark Hamill posted on Twitter some teases to his next DC animated project, which turns out to be an animated retelling of the famous Batman story, The Killing Joke. He tweeted out 3 lines from the famous comic, as you can see here. He put, then he put, all it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. Just one bad day. Then he put, killing. Remember, there's always madness. Madness is the emergency exit. Then he put, the last word was joke, and he said, if I have to have a past, then I prefer it to be multiple choice. He will reprise his long-standing role of the Joker that he had repeatedly said he was done playing, and will be joined by long-running Batman voice, Kevin Conroy. If they stick to the resource material, and they usually do, this will definitely be the DC animated movie to watch. In the wake of Star Wars Episode 7's success, Disney announced the next Indiana Jones movie, due out on July 19th, 2019. This will be the 5th installment for those of you counting, and will bring back Harrison Ford in the iconic role, as opposed to the rumored reboot with a younger actor starring. It'll also be directed by Steven Spielberg. More details, I'm sure, will be soon. This past week, Amazon announced that it has ordered a pilot for the revival of The Tick. Ben Edlund, the original writer of the comic book, the series, comic book and the series, is based on, will also be the producer of the Tick cartoon originally, and the original live-action show is also set to return. Patrick Warburton, who played the Tick in the previous incarnation, is not set to come back due to other obligations. Arthur, the Tick's sidekick Mothman, has already been cast as Griffin Newman. The reason why Patrick Warburton is unavailable for Amazon's The Tick is because he was just revealed to be joining the cast of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, alongside Neil Patrick Harris's now recently confirmed evil Count Olaf. Warburton will play the writer of the series and narrator, Lemony Snicket himself, whom will also appear on screen as the character. Production is to begin this May. Marvel always knocks it out of the park with their Netflix original series. Between Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones, and then tomorrow's Daredevil Season 2, the Defenders project is really taking form very nicely. The next series will be Luke Cage, focusing on Power Man himself, which has been confirmed for September 30th, 2016. Sweet Christmas. Among the news, the Iron Fist series has officially been confirmed as well, and Danny Rand, the Iron Fist himself, will be played by Ben Jones, whom many people know from the show Game of Thrones as Sir Loras Tyrell. No date yet for Iron Fist, but I'm sure we'll be hearing about it soon enough. Speaking of Marvel, the recent Captain America Civil War trailer gave us more glimpses of the story and characters involved, including our first look at the friendly neighborhood wall-crawler SpiderMan. The costume seems to be inspired by the Steve Ditko run on the character, and the scene featured in the trailer has him mostly made in CGI. I guess we'll have to wait until May to see him without as much CGI involved, huh? Or they can give us more pictures of Spider-Man! The Game Developers Conference is this week, and with it brings new news to the game industry front. Microsoft is adding support to their platform for a cross-platform experience among their games. The main use of this is to allow cross-playing between the Xbox One system and PC for games such as they're currently testing versions of iDarb and Rocket League. They mentioned as a nudge that quote-quote other platforms and consoles could take advantage of this if they wanted, as an invite to have Sony networks play against the Xbox networks. Sony responded with mild sarcasm, stating that they had been supporting cross-platform play since Final Fantasy XI in 2002, and in a quote to GameSpot, quote, would be happy to have the conversation with any publishers or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. Sony held their own press conference to make a huge announcement that completely changed the virtual reality market. For years, their Project Morpheus, now called PlayStation VR, has been in development and has been mentioned here and there since it's been rumored originally. In the meantime, the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive has been getting the most attention, along with Microsoft's HoloLens. During their presentation, they announced the October release window and dropped the mic after the $400 price was mentioned. Considering the Oculus Rift is slated to be $600, this came as a huge shock. The only extra need would be a PlayStation camera, which retails for about $60 normally, making this still the cheapest option for a full virtual reality experience. But for now, I'll stick to my Google Cardboard. During the conference, another announcement was made by Crytek, the folks that bring us Far Cry and Crysis. I'm starting to see a pattern in their naming scheme. Their game engine, the CryEngine 5, has been released with a pay-what-you-want business model, allowing developers to utilize the engine's source code and feature set into their games for whatever they feel is a fair price. This follows the tracks of Unity and Unreal giving their engines away for free, and the recent Amazon Lumberyard becoming free. In celebration, Humble Bundle has put out a special bundle for CryEngine assets, ranging from trees to mocap packs and sound effects. The top tier bundle only costs $13 to get personally, but they stress that these 20,000 files is about $22 million worth of assets. If you're a developer or just wanting to get into development, this is a hell of a deal. Check it out over at humblebundle.com. And now, I come to a new segment for Geekly Weekly, Dates to Remember. This is the part where I mention notable new releases in video games, movies, comic books, or just anything geeky. For video games, the major release will be tomorrow on March 18th, with a new Pokemon fighting game for the Wii U called Pokken Tournament. This game, developed by the team that brought us the Tekken series, will be a true fighting game in the same realm of Tekken and Power Stone, and features several Pokemon to fight with. Netflix premieres Daredevil Season 2 tomorrow, as well, with new additions to the cast, Elektra and the Punisher. The entire season gets dropped at the same time when it comes to Netflix, so all the episodes will be available. Hashtag Daredevil and Chill. As for movie releases, we're only 8 days away from the opening of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, and only 49 days until Captain America: Civil War. Also, don't forget, the first Saturday in May is May 7th, which is Free Comic Book Day. Find your local comic shop on freecomicbookday.com and check out the wide selection of comics available. I'm going to put a little something extra up on the screen here, if you know what to do from here. If you're watching this live, I'll be back on in a little bit to play some games. But otherwise, this is Right on Chime, Geekly Weekly News. And as always, chime on, folks.